How is everyone doing out there in streaming land? This is Henry Knight from Playerole, and this is Creatures of the Realm, episode 46. Want to make sure I don't have anything going on bad here. Anyways, just to talk a little bit about tomorrow before we begin our episode. Tomorrow night we have a Halloween special. Every Halloween we try to do a special, and tomorrow night is a little bit of a Dungeons and Dragons side story. What is it about? Well, the story is about, well, I'm going to give you the synopsis of it tomorrow night, but you could check out our YouTube, different social media, and you'll see a little bit of a synopsis on there if you are interested. But tomorrow night we have a Halloween special again, and it's going to be one hell of a time. Come join us tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central on Playerole. Like, subscribe, let everybody know about Playerole. We are awesome. The guys are awesome, and it's a new spin tomorrow. Tomorrow is a 3-episode side story. Part 1 begins tomorrow. Just to give the guys a break, you're going to see some new faces. You're going to see some you recognize. You're not going to get the full party. It is called End of the Line. So those of you who saw End of the Line before, months ago, you'll know what I'm talking about. So join us tomorrow at 8 p.m. But tonight we have the Grick and we have the Griffon. Two wonderful, well, depends. We'll see what they got. They might have something good, something bad to offer in your campaigns. Let me, before we start, let me see my levels, making sure everything's streaming and I don't get kicked off here. Sometimes it does happen. All right, here we go. The Grick. The Grick is a worm-like creature. Waits unseen, blending in with the rocks and caves and caverns it haunts. Only when prey comes near does it rear up, its 4 barbed tentacles unfurling to reveal its hungry, snapping beak. Passive predators. Gricks rarely hunt. Instead, they drag the rubbery bodies to places where creatures regularly pass, lurking out of sight amid rock rubbles, debris, squeezing into burrows, holes, or crevices, climbing up to ledges, or coiling around stalactites to drop at unwaried prey. A Grick consumes virtually anything that moves except for other Gricks. It targets the nearest prey, grabbing a fallen creature with its tentacles and dragging it off to eat alone. Gricks remain in areas until the food supply dwindles, often because sentient creatures become aware of their presence and plot alternates routes around their lairs. When prey is scarce in the Underdark, Gricks venture above ground to hunt in the wilderness, lurking in trees or cliffside ledges. A Grick, here comes my cat, pack is often led by a single well-fed, oversized alpha around which the others congregate. Over time, Grick layers accumulate the cast-off positions of intelligent prey, and expert guides know to look out these tall tale signs. Underdark explorers sometimes seal off the routes leading to and from Grick lair to starve them, then claim the wealth of the foul creature's victims. My cat's looking at me really weird. Here she comes, a weird cat. Over there. I have to finish this episode. Come on. You know where I'm going to put you. Hang on. You hear me? We're doing the Grick and the sorry. Early on in the episode, I can't believe it. My cat is disturbing. She likes to jump on my stuff, so either way. Okay, we were going over the Grick. So the Grick is a medium monstrosity. It's basically neutral. It doesn't normally attack unless it's controlled by an NPC, a magic user, or something of that kind. Armor class, natural armor 14, hit points 27. It's a low-level character, speed 30, climb 30. The highest in the ability. For those of you who don't know D&D speak, strength is the highest ability, and the lowest ability is intelligence. The Grick is obviously a creature, its habitat, usually in the rocks, underdark, stuff like that, caves. That's where its habitat is located. Damage resistance, bludgeoning, piercing, slashing, from non-magical attacks. Dark vision 60, passive perception 12. Languages, none. Again, its intelligence is very low. It's something you need to know when you use them in your campaigns or one-shots or whatnot. It camouflages itself in rocks. Its hide is very good. His stealth checks, it moves, hiding behind things stealthily. So that's something you have to worry about. It has a multi-attack. It has one attack with its tentacles, and if the attack hits, the Grick can make one big attack. So it has its 4 tentacles that have these talons that kind of curled. Its beak, it kind of opens up and the beak comes out, and then it'll attack, making it making it a very formidable character. There we go. That's something you need to know for your games. The Grick has a 2d6 plus 2 slashing damage. What does that mean, D&D speak? Well, it means what it says. Slashing damage. There's bludgeoning, slashing, piercing, whatever damage it has, it's classified under, depending on what the creature is. If it has claws, if it has a beak, if he has a club or whatever, those are the things you have to look at as well. But the Grick, in general, is a snake-like creature, and it has 4 of these tentacles with talons at the end of it. It opens up and the beak comes out. So it has those 2 attacks. Tentacles, 2d6 plus 2. It's not bad. Not bad slashing damage. And it's a plus 4 to hit. All that stuff is pretty cool. The attack is 1d6 plus 2. Then again, challenge rate of 2, 450. It's a low-level creature. So those are the things you have to really take into account. I can't talk today. I'm sorry. It happens. Anyways, those are the things you're looking at for the Grick. Now, the good. The good for this creature, its armor class is very decent and very strong for a challenge rate of 2. 2 or 3 of these creatures can really give a party a run for their money. Low hit points, 27. It's okay. It has a decent armor class. If you're going up against a party of level 2 and 3, these guys can pack a punch. More than 1, though. 1, the party could overwhelm the creature, and kill it quickly. But the good thing is the armor class. I really like the armor class. I do like its attacks. Its attacks with the tentacle and the beak, very cool. I like that a lot. The dark vision is 60 feet. Very great. Very great. Very good. Very good for low-level creatures, especially challenge rate of 2. Having a dark vision is very cool. Having a passive perception of 12 is decent for this type of category and challenge rating. Now, those of you who are not using experience, you still have to go under the guise of challenge rating and all that type of thing. that stuff, because that's important in your games. You have to really look at the party, the size, the level of your party, the average party level, and so forth. That's why when you're using experience and you want to go from one level to another, make sure that everybody gets the same type of experience. And, I thought about this, and when I did my session 0, we had a discussion about it. What if half the party did something else and the other half didn't do anything? Well, making everything balanced and making everything all in one experience-wise is great. Because if you have like 3 out of 6, and those 3 they fought a creature and the other 3 they didn't do anything, well, and they get experience and they know, it really makes it harder for the DM and it makes it harder for everybody else. So that's ultimately what I want to say. So just remember, when you are giving experience out, and this guy is a challenge rate of 2, 450 XPs. So if you get more than 1, just remember experience and how all that works. It's important. It's all the good. I said the good was armor class. I like its attacks. The ugly in this creature. Well, the ugly is the hit points. I don't like the hit points. The hit points is 27. If you are dealing with a party that's versatile and diverse, it has a mix of mage, barbarian, it has a good mix, this guy is done. I don't care how many of them there are. This guy's done. We're talking about D&D 5e. We're not talking about earlier versions of Dungeons and Dragons. The ugly. What else? Low intelligence, low charisma, and having a low intelligence and a low charisma. What does that mean? Well, let's take a look at it. So if you have a mage that has the ability to, for example, if you got control monster and stuff like that, and if they have a low wisdom or charisma, you got to make certain saves. Those are the things you really have to look at, because if not, then that'll be a problem. All right, so let's take a look at the spell. If you're going up against a mage, against a Grick, right? So let me see my little spell tab here. Okay. Wow, I thought I had my spell tab. Oh, I guess I don't. Oh, there it is. Okay, so let's say you have a mage, and the mage is doing hold monster, and you're going up against the Grick, right? So hold monster has a wisdom save, like I said. So now, if the wisdom is a +2, well, it's decent. But if he had a low wisdom, he'd be done. Let's take a look at another spell. Let's do charm, a charm spell, for example. Charm person. Okay. Charm person. Well, if you charm a person, the saving throw is another wisdom save. So, again, he's pretty formidable on the charms or hold monster. So, that tells you right there that this creature is decent. But when it comes to that, the bad, I said the good, and I guess wisdom could be good. I just said intelligence, but if you have a good mixture in your party of mages, barbarians, and stuff, you can really bring down the Grick. That's the thing you have to look at when you are DMing or going up against certain creatures. Let's say if you do something called encode thought, right? You think that's pretty cool? Seeing that this creature is an idiot, and code thought can be a real problem. Putting a finger on your head, you pull a memory, an idea, or a message from your mind to transfer it to the other individual. It's a concentrating spell. You can read or manipulate the thought of others, which is very cool. So those are the things you have to look at. Different spells, different things in games that you can do to really intensify your game. And when you have a creature like a Grick, intelligence and wisdom is important. And I know I just said that intelligence, well, depending if what type of mage you're using, and they make an intelligence save, it's not going to work. But wisdom is pretty high, so +2 it's a decent, decent stat. So you're going to roll 20, add 2, and it might be good or bad depending on what you get in the roll. But what's the ugly? What's the worst thing that this creature has? Well, you want to look at, I said the abilities, the hit points. Those are the bad things. The bad thing, the worst thing about this creature is the fact that he only has an average speed of 30. His climb and his speed and his walking speed is 30. Granted, you could double your speed when you dash and all that stuff, but either way, he's not doing much for being a creature. For a medium monstrosity, he's not much. His attacks are kind of low, but I said earlier, 2d6 +2, not bad for the tentacles, but its beak attack is very low, 1d6 +2, and its piercing damage. It's a pathetic attack, and again, if you have a strong barbarian, this Grick is gone very, very quickly. So that's it for the Grick. What do I give it from A to F? What do I give? Do I give it an A, B, C, D? What do I give the Grick? I give it a D. It's kind of a pathetic creature, and if you look at the creature, it looks amazing, the beak and the tentacles, but its attacks are not very strong, has low hit points. Only thing it it's going for it right now is the armor class. Armor class is very, very good. And I give it a D because of the low hit points, low intelligence, of course, low constitution, stuff like that. And its attacks is not very strong. And nothing really major. The camouflage, yeah, okay. But it's not really a big deal. Even if it reveals itself, if you have a good diverse party, this creature is done. All right, we're going to move on. The Grick Alpha. The Grick Alpha is a large monstrosity, neutral. The Grick Alpha, an 18, higher armor class, hit point 75, pretty much the same speed and climb. The highest ability 18, the lowest charisma, obviously because it's ugly. The lowest is intelligence, then charisma, then wisdom, and so on. So resistance, bludgeoning, piercing, slashing, dark vision pretty much mirrors the minor Grick. Challenge rate 7, 2900. So let me bust on this creature. It does the same thing. Nothing really different. Its attacks, again, the tentacles and its beak. The only thing that it does is a weapon attack went from a 4 to a +7. That's pretty good. A reach of 10, 2d6 +4. Okay. So that's a bludgeoning attack with its tail, tentacles. Let me see. The other one didn't have a tail of attack. And the beak does a 2d8 +4. All right, let's go over quickly because I'm running out of time. Let's go over quickly about the Grick. The good thing is high armor class, high hit points. The bad, again, the charisma is low. Charisma is shit. The intelligence is shit. Bad. You have, again, a diverse group. That is weak point. The damage resistance, bludgeoning, piercing, slashing, that's all pretty good stuff. You want to use that for your campaigns? Great. It might work. It might not. Let me check my levels. All right. So, the ugly about this thing. Okay. It has a challenge rate of 7. Why? 29 hit points, 2,900 XPs. Okay, cool, challenge rate, right? Why is it a challenge rate of 7? Because it has what? An attack of 7? Okay, great. A bludgeoning attack with a tail, 2d6. The difference between that one and the other Grick, the smaller Grick, it does not have a tail attack, but it goes up through the tentacles. The tentacles has a 4d8 plus 4. That's great tentacle attack. That would be one of its best parts. That's the best part of this creature, is the tentacle attack. The other tentacle attack did 2d6 plus 2. This one does 4d8 plus 4. Awesome slashing damage. The beak, 2d8 plus 4. And the beak with the Grick did 1d6 plus 2. But you know what? I don't understand. Okay, the damage is more. Big deal. Not much of a difference. The damage is high damage, but he camouflages. Yeah. For the creature that has an armor class of 18, it's deadly. But if you have a party of 5, even a party of 4, if you have mages, good fighter, you have a fighter, a barbarian, a mage, a cleric, you could really take out this creature. Do I recommend this guy? Maybe, maybe not. I gave the regular Grick a D. I want to give the Grick Alpha probably a C+. And I'm giving him a C+ because of its tentacle attack and its high armor class and hit points. But pretty much it mimics what the other one does. All right, let's move on to Griffon. Griffins are ferocious avian carnivores with muscular bodies of lions, head, forelegs, wings of eagles. When they attack, Griffins are as swift and deadly as eagles, even if they strike with lions' savage might and grace. Now, by that, the Griffon is amazing. Has a head of an eagle, talons the talons are curled just like an eagle, and the back hind legs are those of a lion. And of course the tail as well. Awesome creature, especially the picture. So imagine a bald eagle with elongated wings, its talons, and then hind legs of a lion. Imagine that. Beautiful, beautiful picture. Okay, the Griffon is a large monstrosity and aligned, armor class 12, 59 hit points, speed 30, flight 80. The highest ability the Griffon has would be the strength for abilities, and then the lowest would be intelligence. Unfortunate, because I do like this creature. I'm kind of biased. Intelligence, then charisma, and then followed by wisdom, and so forth. Perception +5. Decent dark vision 60, passive 15. Challenge rated 2, 450. Much better than a Grick. Keen sight. Griffon has advantage on wisdom perception checks. Multi-attack. Griffon has two attacks. One with his beak, and of course its claws. The beak does 1d4 plus 8. Claws do 2d6 plus 4. Slashing and piercing damage. Now, what do I have to say about the Griffon? Griffon, what's good about the Griffon? The Griffon has decent hit points, but I do like the keen sight. Keen sight is probably the best thing about the Griffon, other than its looks amazing, beautiful creature. And I'm kind of biased because I do like it. Even though it's challenge rated 2, you could homebrew it, make them stronger. All depends on you as a DM. Just remember that. Multi-attack, the beak, and then the claw. Claw does 2d6 plus 4, and the beak does 1d8 plus 4. So just remember that when you use that in your campaign or story. The damage that they do, their keen sight, they have advantage on wisdom, perception checks, and that's amazing for a creature. They're usually mounts. You can use them as a mount for your NPCs or your story. I use the Griffon. I have a Griffon in my NPC. In my story. So Griffons are great to use. But the good. I just said the hit points, the keen sight, great perception checks. The bad, low armor class, unfortunately. Intelligence being low, unfortunately. So if they have to make a save with intelligence, they're going to fail it. Same thing with charisma. Multi-attack. Multi-attack is not really much. The big attack is 1d8 plus 4, and the claw is 2d6 plus 4. Even though it's a great looking creature, the attacks are not high enough. But then again, it's a challenge rated 2, so you have to take the good with the bad. Okay, so I said the good was the hit points, and perception, keen sight. The bad, the attacks are kind of low, ugly. The worst thing about this creature is, of course, the attacks and having a low intelligence and charisma. I say that a lot because it's important. It's important that you use these creatures accurately in your campaigns, in your story. Now, what type of rating will I give the Griffon? I gave the Grick, and the Grick Alpha went from a D to a C. I want to give the Griffon a C minus. I love the Griffon. I love using it in my stories. Visually, they're great, but their attack sucks. Again, you could homebrew these creatures. You could homebrew any of these creatures. These are just my rating on it. So just remember that. It all depends on how you like it in your campaigns. Either way, we're out of time, and DM Talks will begin in about 15 minutes, 11:45. Just hold your seat. If you're joining us now, just wait for me in 15 minutes and I'll be back for DM Talk. Thank you for watching.